All right, how about now? Can you guys hear me now? All right, anybody can hear me now? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. There we go. Okay. Okay, so okay, DJ JK, yes, thought it was me. We good? Okay, I think everybody's good. DJ Mike saying no audio. Okay, everybody, thumbs up if you can hear me now. A couple of people saying yeah. I'll go ahead. Okay, good to go. Good to go. All right, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another great week of Twisted Transitions. Today we have got a great show for you. We just had some early technical difficulties, but the reason that you are here today, Mr. DJ Solstice is in the building. He is waiting in the green room. I just wanted to go over this past weekend with you really quick, and then we are going to bring him on, and it is unscripted. This is the first time that me and Solstice have talked face to face. Okay, so just letting you know, this is totally 100% unscripted. I promise you it is. All right, so we've got some people and stuff in the building. Everybody's jumping in right now. People from all over are jumping in. I can hear it. I'm just so nervous for the day. So nervous because Solstice brings like this aura behind him. This image of Solstice is always like, who does he think he is? And you know what? Today, we're going to ask him, who does he think he is? We're going to find out today. So, I appreciate you guys coming in, and thank you so much. If you can hit the like button if you're liking the content and everything that is happening, make sure you hit the like button while you are here. G. Kenny and Mike, you guys take over the moderators, and I will jump in the chat and say what's up to DJ Envision, DJ G. Kenny, Kevin Sounds, James King, DJ Mike, Wickman 2A, DJ K, DJ 167, DJ J Torture, Daniel Rodriguez. I think that's it for now. If you want me to shout you out, just put something in the chat. But here we go. Here we go. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is Saturday. So Saturday, I guess I need to bring myself on here so you guys can see me. And it sucks when you don't see what I actually look like. Let me bring myself on here. Here we go. And look at that. It doesn't even work. I mean, I love it. Look at that. It says I'm supposed to be right there, but it doesn't even bring me on. How about now? There we go. Okay. So Saturday we had a nice, wedding, set up here, but let's jump back one day and let's go to Friday. So Friday we had just a quick event. It was just an event for back to school for kids, and I just set up something simple. And look at this, I actually brought out the QSCs. The QSCs actually made an appearance. If you guys are OGs of the channel, you know that I have had these QSC KW122s forever. They have been a staple in my setups. If you go back to previous videos, I have had these speakers for a very long time, and it was good to bring them back out. I only needed these two to cover an entire field, which is crazy, because they get super, super loud. They don't have a lot of low end. So if you're curious on whether or not you should get some QSCs, I would definitely highly recommend QSC speakers, wood cabinets preferably, just because they tend to hold up longer. But it was good to bring these guys back out. I had the Rev 7 going out there, and I just played some music for the kids back to school, which is my second to last kids event this year. I have one more kids event that I've got to do for Halloween, and then no more kids events. I'm done with these things. This thing literally tore my knees to shreds because it's like standing in one place. It was aggravating, but it's all good. You know, it was what it was. So then we move on to Saturday and had a wedding. And shout out to the homie DJ Magic Mike for coming out and helping me out with that, because I needed that. He ran my photo booth for me because I did not, my help canceled on me last minute, day before, and Mike stepped in and hooked me up. So this is the outside of the event here on Saturday, and here is the main room. Let me move myself out of the way so you guys can see the full setup. Probably shrink me down some. There we go. Now you can see the full setup and how it was set up here. I did not provide the letters, of course. I know people always ask me, but I did not provide the letters, and they had their own. And I can tell you that, look, at the same token that letters add a touch of wow factor, on the same token, it's actually aggravating too for a DJ to DJ when you have your lights. And you're going to see in the next clip, or the clips and stuff that I have, that when you have your lights going, it almost makes the room look bright. So it doesn't help with the letters. Of course, it looks good before and after and everything for pictures. It looks great, and I know why couples do it. But when I see lights out there, I kind of am just like let down a little bit, because I know that my lights are not going to shine through the amount of brightness that these letter lights give off. And if I've got a video on the channel where you could see where I've dealt with this situation on multiple times. Now, let me just show you. I do have a couple of clips. You know, you could see here. I mean, look at the letters. The letters are right there to the right, and you can see how bright that is. Like, yeah, the strobe and everything is going off, but it's just like, it's so bright in the room. And I like a dark room where my lights kind of take over, but that just wasn't the case. But everybody still had a great time. I'm not mad at the time that everybody had. It was a good time. It started off a little bit slow, but it did pick up, and I was happy with the result. Mike was able to capture this next clip for me, and I thought that it was pretty cool. He captured this. He was doing a walk-in, and this is what it looked like from a different perspective. So people just kind of came in. That's me over there getting my groove on, doing what I do best. And he just happened to capture me in that moment. We work with a lot of new vendors on Saturday, vendors that I've never worked with before, from the caterers to the coordinators to the venue, to the photographer. Like, I didn't know anybody, but we now have a new group of friends. So that was good to work with them, see how they work, and we meshed pretty well together. She took a couple of ideas from me, and I took some ideas and stuff from her to make this day go by as smoothly as possible. We did not have any hiccups, and I was able to set a speaker up outside and play whatever I was playing inside on the outside, which was great. So great night, good time. Glad those folks had me out. Very, very thankful that they did. Let's see here. I got all that done there. Okay. So this weekend right here is probably the last weekend that I have before it's time to go ahead and shift to the second half of the year, the second part of the season. And so this weekend right here, I'm just going to relax and recoup and clean off some equipment and get ready for next week, because next week we've got a triple header almost, and it is going to be insane. So thank you all for the support and everything. And now it is time to get to the main event. So for the reason why you guys are here, of course. So ladies and gentlemen, one of the most controversial individuals on social media. He will tell you exactly about your setups, your ideas, your thinking, and he will let you know that you are You are not less than, but you you are insane for thinking the way that you do. He is from Southern California, where he is absolutely killing it. This guy does at least, God, 3, sometimes 4 gigs a week, but on average, I see that he does like 3 a week. It is insane how he keeps up with that. But he is a friend of the show, and today, once I hit this button, there's no return. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry in advance. But ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, DJ Solstice. What's good, my guy?
Yeah, you got me laughing right here.
Oh, man. Now, let me just tell you, Solstice, before I saw your videos and stuff on YouTube, I was like, I always see this guy's name come up in a lot of chats and stuff like that. And, who's this guy? And then, you had videos and stuff up there, and then all your videos it looked like what you would set up for like a high school party, but it was a wedding. And I was like, is this guy using lasers at a wedding? And I'm like, you're probably the only one that I've ever seen make lasers work at a wedding. And from that moment on, I was hooked. I think I've reached out to you a couple of times, been like, man, what the hell is going on here? Like, it's just been just a crazy ride on your channel and stuff, bro. But I am so excited to have you here and to finally get to talk to you and ask you why you are the way you are.
I've been thinking of explanations for it, and I think I got a good one.
Okay.
It's nice to be here. I obviously been watching your show for a while. The reason I started YouTube is because I talk so much. I mean, we're not PG here. I talk so much shit, so
Yeah.
I figure like if this guy's talking all this shit, where's his channel? Where's his videos to back it up? So that's why I started doing YouTube. Obviously, I've been DJing since 2010, so for a while. I didn't really get into YouTube until like 2016, and I discovered DJ Bar. I knew Brian S. Red from when I tried to learn how to DMX, but other than that, I watched your channel, his, Rick Webb's, and then I just started seeing everybody else's gig logs, and I was like, I could do this, but not before I started hating on everyone and needed something to back it up with. So that's how the YouTube started.
And I love your fearlessness, because like you'll go in on everybody's favorite hated group, DJ Idea Sharing, and like you went to bat for me, and I'll never forget this because like I think I posted a video or something like that in there where it was talking about don't play cheesy music. You remember this? It was like, DJs stop playing cheesy music. Now, of course, I made the thumbnail to just attract people to the video. But man, that thing started, it just like grew legs. Like a lot of people was like, who's this guy to tell me what music I can play? And then here comes Solstice. Solstice like, you idiots. That's not what he's done. For God's sake, if you're sitting there telling him that you're going to play what you want to play, then you already have lost. To stick to your old school way of thinking, and all these guys just start coming at you, and you're just like, but you're old and saggy. Like, come on.
It just bugs me that my biggest thing is these guys think that like you can't try new music at a wedding, or you can't try a remix, or you can't try this, that like you have to play these same 30 songs every single wedding. And otherwise like, oh, we don't want people to be scared away because we don't know, they're not going to know this music. It's right. There's a formula to it, which like I'll get into, but it's these guys just, it's a stale music. It's what I call the vanilla white bread wedding music. Like nobody wants, sure, if you're at a wedding, you're going to expect to hear Dancing Queen, but you got to think of it like this. I always love when I start a wedding, like the one I did in Colorado. Obviously, like the couple and their friends, they knew me. They found me through YouTube. They knew what to expect. But all the family and like the other ones, maybe the people that aren't in the wedding party, they don't know what to expect. So when I start playing Dancing Queen, September, Staying Alive, all that stuff, they're like, oh, this is going to be a fun wedding. But then when I get into like a tech house remix of Staying Alive, and like the reaction, I wish I had my 360 on at this point, but I forgot to turn it on for the first 10 minutes. The reaction I get of like, oh shit, like this is gonna be dope. Like that's what gets me going. And I think I'm in a unique market, but at the same time, I feel like I could try some of this stuff out in your area, or just, you got to think, people that are getting drunk, they want to hear good music.
That's true.
Everybody loves dance music. If it's got a good beat, people are gonna dance to it. They're gonna love it, and it's yeah. So I went to bat for you on that, but every time I try to, respond with, oh, all these guys play the same shit, and oh, what do you play? Like, you really want to try something new at a wedding and risk like ruining these people's wedding? Like, no, I'm not playing some like screamo stuff or some really
Right.
foreign, deep house dubstep type stuff. I'm just playing like it's testing the waters. I don't know.
Right. Now, I've been impressed by some of your content because, you play so many. Now, of course, where you live at, it's going to breed a lot of different nationalities of people. So you're going to have, Latin. You're going to have, I actually saw you do African American wedding, and I was like, I mean, you killed it. I'm not gonna lie. I was curious of what music you would play for that, and you knew everything. I mean, you were playing hits. I was like, Solstice knows that, but you were dropping it. They were having a good time. And then I saw you do I think it was like an Asian type theme one, and you were killing them. I mean, these people leaving shirts open, drenched in sweat. I mean, you're not just playing good music. You're playing like stuff that they would hear in like a rave or like a EDM club, and they are absolutely eating it up, and it just keeps you busy. I mean, how many weddings do you do a year now?
This year I have, just for myself, I have 85 booked, and then I have two other guys. I'm very specific with who I send out,
Right.
but I have two other guys that represent us. One of them I actually did his wedding. I found him on Craigslist of all places.
Wow.
So you can still find good people on Craigslist. All my lighting people I found on Craigslist, and they're still with me 3 years later.
Wow.
But I have him and then one other guy, and like those two, I could send out. We have another company that we use for lighting. That's a friend of mine runs it. So we send them out. I don't get any texts saying something's wrong or where did we do this. Like, I send them out. I come home. They text me saying we killed it. Send a couple videos. Couples are happy. Everything's good.
I
But
like that.
yeah, I mean, so in Orange County, we have very diverse groups. I mean, there's a ton of people of Asian descent, of course. I live in Irvine, which is informally known as, they say it's an informally known as like the Asian capital of Southern California. It's very
Okay.
heavily Asian, but it's also just very diverse. We have Armenians, we have Arabic people, we have Persians. I mean, they're all over the place, and then obviously a ton of white people. But I when I moved to Orange County from where I went to college, completely whitewashed. I didn't know any Spanish music. I told people when I first moved down here, I'm like, I can do a quinceañera, not a quinceañera. Like, I couldn't do like an actual Spanish event.
Right.
But when I came down here, I started learning the music. I did one wedding where they really wanted the more deeper level besides your suavemente type stuff. And I felt like I bombed it. They had a good time, but I felt like I didn't capture the whole audience. So I spent time learning that. Same kind of story I did a wedding where on their playlist, all they wanted was electronic music, but only the couple was into that. All their friends wanted that 70s, 80s R&B funk.
Right.
And I didn't know any of that music, like Mary Jane Girls. Like, I didn't know any of that. So I finally dug in and added a bunch of that music, and now I'm comfortable with it. So I try to tackle, like, there's nothing I can't do. Indian weddings, I've only done one, and I have one coming up, which I'm actually kind of nervous for, but I'm reaching out to this guy to get more involved with that. But other than that, like, I can do any style of music, and it helps because you may not know, like, I did a wedding this past weekend. They wanted, like, the Ritz-Carlton one. They wanted house music.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted, like, your popular stuff, but there was a good group of Armenian people there. So they had one or two Armenian songs in the playlist. Luckily, I have 40 or 50 other ones that I know which ones are going to be hits. So you just play that. So it's it's a big market down here. There's a lot of competition, but I try to, as you mentioned, I try to stand out, like, and create that festival vibe. I get a lot of couples that say we met at EDC, or one of our first dates was at Coachella, and we want to bring that to our wedding. And so that's what we do on a smaller scale.
And you have I mean, everybody knows that you have the gear to pull it off. You are like what's considered, in my eyes, the gear king. I mean, you always are getting a new piece of gear, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to be a subwoofer. So like, talk to us about that.
I'm set. Like my thing is like a lot of the stuff you can't hear in person, and you're going off of specs. And I'll tell you, I've tried 8 or 9 different RCF speakers, and all of them have been returned except my NXLs, which are the towers, just because a lot of companies, not a lot, but a good amount of companies like RCF are starting to make stuff more for the production side instead of for the consumers. And they're just assuming these guys are going to have a drive rack, or they're going to have a tuning system, or like an audio engineering background. I don't have that. If I'm spending $1,500 on a speaker, it should sound good when I just plug it in.
That's right.
So I literally use I use my Behringer mixer and a crossover, and that's it. And if my speakers don't sound good from that, they're going back. So right now, all my tops, my point source tops, I have LD Stingers in 15 and 12. That's it. I've got the Thump Go's, I've got the Yamahas, which are my first pair of speakers, and then I have the NXL towers, and then the towers in white. And so everything has a use case. I don't buy anything unless I know what it's going to be used for, and I feel like it'll pay itself off. So I'm very, very particular about keeping my gear looking brand new. And when I used to rent dual 18s from this one company, they were just beat to shit, and it just didn't look nice. So that's the other part of it.
And that's awesome. I mean, we just talked about it last week. Last week, where making purchases that give you a great return on investment. If it's not something that's going to let you level up in your pricing or benefit you in that way, and you're just buying it just to buy it, just because you saw one DJ have it and you just want to say you have it, then you're lessening the opportunity. You're just wasting money. So I noticed that you get a lot of stuff in black and white. So when you see something, do you automatically say, well, hey, I like this, so what I want to do is I also want to get it in white? Or are you painting something? Are you spray painting something? Like, how are you able to get 2 systems that are fully one color?
An investment. I mean, that's the thing is, I don't have the exact same system in black and in white, and that's mainly because RCF is just now starting to realize that people want their stuff in white. So they've debuted white subwoofers and speakers, single 18s, and then 932s and 945s, I think, at NAMM. I saw them again at DJ Expo. They still don't have a release date, so I don't know if they're actually coming out. But around here, a lot of weddings, not even like the higher end ones, just some people really want that white setup. Initially, I got it for that one venue where you showed my 2 different setups at that one venue. It's called Venue by 3 Pedals. They have a beautiful white stage and white walls everywhere. And subwoofers and sound system just fit really nice there. And I always wanted a system in white. And I had when I bought uplights, I bought 15 white and 15 black. And I have par lights in white and black. And I have anything that they make in white. Yeah, I mean, I haven't bought a white fixture or anything for a while. My Cold Sparks, I have a shield that goes in front of them. That's kind of the cheating method. But like they don't make lasers in white. Like companies don't care about that. They don't make blinders in white. I always ask if I'm buying lights from China. I always ask, "Oh, do you have them in white?" But and I only charge like $500 extra for an all white setup, and the amount of work, like those L acoustic subs, they're in cases, but they're passive, so you have to wire them. They're heavy, they're bulky. The power cords, like they need their own circuit for the amp. It's a hassle. So, I mean, when I'm doing these bigger shows, we're being required to have like a spider box or an electrical drop because just this weekend, we were at the Ritz-Carlton, fancy hotel. We had the subs plugged into their own circuit. The bass hit a really deep dubstep song. Subs cut out because the circuit just was like, nah, we're not going to put any more power. And it was a janky box. It wasn't like a metal spider box like you see. It was one of those like bolted onto a plank of wood and see what happens type of box. Which is odd for the Ritz, but we just switched the plug.
I mean, but the fact that you're playing at the Ritz-Carlton, though, bro, like I don't think anybody that watches this show or rewatches it is playing at the Ritz-Carlton, bro.
That's one of those where it was like full service wedding planner, right? And this full service wedding planner always works with the same DJ companies and the same other vendors. The couple checked out the DJ company. They didn't like them. They told their planner, we want somebody that has lasers and can give us a club vibe late because we like house music.
Uh-huh.
Somehow my name got thrown out, and there you go. And I'm doing one of the other coordinators in that company. She's getting married later this year, so I'm doing her wedding. So they do a
Right.
lot of high end stuff. So it's nice to kind of get in there. But it's a lot of people don't think about, and this is part of why I'm an asshole sometimes, is at least in terms of like pricing and just in the industry in general. So
Right.
many people only care about the look of their wedding.
Right.
They'll spend 40,000 on a venue and 15,000 on flowers and 6 grand on a planner to put it all together, and these custom welcome keychains and little decor pieces and little grab bag type things and custom signage. And then when it comes to the music, it's like, oh, we have like a budget of $1,000 for a DJ,
Yep.
and it's like, I just don't get it. You're investing all this money, but like the celebration that's supposed to be the cap of the night doesn't matter to you. Like it's wild to me. And we have some companies here that DJ these bougie venues and charge like $1,900, and they've got 800 plus Yelp reviews, great glowing reviews. They have a professional looking setup, but all it is a guy just subcontracting stuff out to the 15 or 20 DJs on his team. They're all good DJs, but they're getting paid $600-700 for the whole night. So of course, $1,200 to his pocket. Why not $1,900 and just
Wow.
do volume? So
Wow.
it's that's the thing, is like everybody always talks about pricing. Like,
Yep.
I wish I could charge a $5,000 minimum. I wish I could be up there at SCE levels, but I wouldn't be booked. I'd be moderately booked, but I certainly wouldn't have 85. So I find a balance between getting paid what I'm worth and keeping my calendar full. So
As do I.
I have 3 or 4 different pricing documents based on like the date, availability, and things like that. I don't go off of their budget. I just say, if it's a Saturday during peak season, it's this price. If it's a Saturday during off season, it's this. But I always kind of keep the door open of like, let me know what else you're interested in on here, and perhaps we could put something together. Because I don't want somebody to reach out and their budget's 2,400 and I quote them 27, and we can't and then they just think there's no way to find something to make it
Right.
work. Like if I have to throw in some glow sticks or throw in this or whatever, like, part of it's sales, and I hate the admin side. I hate it.
Right, because I wish that I could just be booked, but I mean, you're right, doing all the admin work and having to talk people into stuff and having to keep people's attention, follow up with them. Oh, it's like pulling teeth. I just recently had a couple who were like, yeah, we definitely want to go with you, and I'm like, okay, well, sign the contract, pay the deposit, let's go. And 3 weeks later, after hitting them up multiple times, today they signed the contract and paid the deposit. So it's just crazy to me how much, because if I was the venue and said you had until this date to get it done, otherwise you're gonna lose your spot, oh, they would be all over it. But because I'm the DJ, we can take our time and stuff with the DJ. Like,
I've got
what?
I've got people reaching out for Saturdays in October. Like I had 5 inquiries this week at least for Saturdays in October. That's less than 2 months away. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I just don't think that these people, clients in general, know what busy times are,
they
because
don't.
like we also do school dances. So October Saturdays, I have a couple open, and in September for homecomings. Like I know we're gonna get one, sent the contract out. I'm waiting on 2 others potentially. Like, and if I don't, then I have a buddy who always needs DJs for other homecomings. So like I'll book those dates. But if you think you're gonna get a discounted rate on like a Saturday in October and you're gonna book it 2 months out, like, I don't know. Good luck.
Right. I get it. I get it and stuff. Like I've been getting some inquiries and stuff right now for people who need something in October, and I'm like, that's just not enough time. I mean, I know you think I just press a button, but if you saw me in person, you know that I just don't just press a button. Like there's a lot that goes into setting up your day. So like I saw a question in the chat and stuff here. I think Romeo Great had it. He asked, how do you learn what to play when you have to play for different cultures?
A lot of it. So, like the Armenian one's a good example. I probably had 5 Armenian songs. There's a huge Armenian population here. I probably had, and in LA, obviously, but I probably had maybe 5 Armenian songs. And I got hit up to do an Armenian wedding. She found me through Instagram. She liked my stuff. It was a backyard, so I don't really do backyard weddings anymore. But this was like one that was an exception. They paid full price, so I was like, all right, whatever, easy
Right.
load in, nice path straight back. Obviously, pouring rain the day of, so we got lucky. Um, everyone hit the like button. That's
So that's-
but so I basically like I tell them when I take these, I'm like, I would love to DJ this. If you could send me some Armenian songs that like are going to be hits, that would be great. So she sent me a playlist of probably 40 or 50. I listened to them. I like to think, and this is kind of a aside, but I like to think I have great taste in music and I know what remixes will work and what don't, and like what kind of songs have a good enough beat to, even if people don't know the words, they'll dance to it.
right.
So part of DJing, a huge part of DJing to me, I think like half of it is just song selection. And
I
some
totally
people
agree.
some people play really weird choice songs, and other people like I say myself, I like to think I play really great stuff and great remixes and all that. But stuff like Armenian, I listen to the songs. I don't know the words. I don't know if these are going to be bangers, but
Right.
I could at least listen to them. And if it's got a good beat and a good drop and a build up, I'll just type it in as banger. And that way, like I know in the middle of the moment, if I need like a banger and it's kind of a slow part, I just play it. So that Spanish music is kind of the same way.
Yep.
Spanish
Bollywood.
music, it's Bollywood, all that. It's like there's so many songs out there, but you got to know like the core ones that are going to be played at each.
Yep.
And like I did this one Armenian school year after year after year. I did their high school, and like I kind of got to know like what the exact kind of music was, and so it worked out. But yeah, I'd say that's how I prep.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And you guys make sure you know how this goes. If you have a question for Solstice, just make sure you put the hashtag ask in the chat, and I'll try to make sure I ask it for him. Now, Solstice, now you said that you and two other guys are kind of like your system right now. So what made you decide that you wanted to take on DJing? Were you somebody's apprentice before? Did you join a company first and then branched off? Like, how did you get your start?
So I started back in college in 2009,
Mm-hmm.
2010, sometime around then. I'd always been huge into music. Like I was the one that always had the iPod, tons of songs. Like had you know, illegally pirating music way back in the day, obviously, like everyone else. So I had the iPod Touch, the one of the first generations, shuffle, all that stuff. So I picked out good music, and then college came around, and I've never really had this. This is a sob story. I never really had that many friends. I have ADHD, so like maintaining friendships isn't our strong suit, but I try. And so I was all, but like I've always been kind of a little bit of a prick. Like just I've never been like a generally nice person. So I didn't have all that many friends, but I wanted to have friends, and I wanted people to hit me up and ask where's the party at in
Right.
college. And so the way to do that, I was like, I'll be the party. I'll be the
Right.
DJ. So
There you
I
go.
started. My buddy had the same mixer, which was the first one I got, the Exponent. He's like, hey, try virtual DJ. I tried that for 2 weeks. I thought it was pathetic software. So I got this company, M Audio, made this thing called Torque, installed it, and just played around for 3 months. And when I started, first party I ever did, great story, because of course this would happen. First party I ever did was a house party, like $5 a guy to get in, so just open to anybody. Tons of people, 200-300 people there. Before we start the party, I had rented like a party light, like a Kinta or something from this company.
Mm-hmm.
I had my own speakers, but I had rented like a light. And so it was in this garage, and there was a plank of wood that was going at a slant right above the DJ booth. There was like a nut hanging from it, like a little screw. And I'm like, all right, let me put the light up there. Put it up there. I pulled on it. I'm like, is it? I asked my buddy, you think it's secure? He's like, pull on it. It's probably fine. So I pulled on it, secure, right? Setting up, getting ready to start. All of a sudden, this light crashes onto my laptop, shatters the screen completely. Party starts in 15 minutes. This is it's like 8:45. Screen shattered completely, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, oh my god, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
And but like I could tell the computer was still working because like we could hear volume out of it, and like when you would click on something, like you could hear it. And so somehow my buddy was able to activate like the voice assistant mode where it would like read out what you were clicking on. And then it just happened to be parents weekend. He was a freshman. I was a sophomore at this time. It happened to be parents weekend. So his folks were in town. They picked him up from the party because nobody had cars. They picked him up from the party, took him to his dorm room. He grabbed his external monitor, brought it over, and then we connected my MacBook to it. And then, of course, the MacBook's on screen mirroring.
Right.
So, no, it's not on screen. It's on separate. So it's just a blank screen on the right side. So somehow he used the headphones and the like assisted listening to find where to do screen mirroring. So we finally screen mirrored, and then I just rocked out the party. And then it went great after that. They invited me back. You know, repair cost more than I was getting paid for that gig. But
right.
That was the start of my career. And when I started, what I used to do was like I'd practice so much, and then all I would do was just write down my set list on like sticky notes on my MacBook. So it's like at this cue point, transition here. At this cue point, so if somebody asked for a request, I'd freak out because I'd be like, I don't know how to freely mix on the fly, and but it then just takes practice. After that, I got booked for that same organization a couple more times. Some sorority girls found me. They asked me to do their date nights. So I did a bunch of Greek stuff, house parties. And then I got into like the downtown bar scene by winning a competition. So I became like a resident DJ at a couple different bars. That was a blast. Don't get paid nearly enough for how much work you put in there.
Right.
It was definitely fun. I mean, the bar I was at was the bar everybody ended up at. So it was dead till like 11:30. And then people come in, dance on tables, dance on the booths, go crazy. And then, after that, I was using the same mixer and laptop for a while. And eventually my buddy was getting married in 2016 and asked if I could DJ his wedding. I had never been to a wedding, never knew what was going on at a wedding. So I Googled what happens at a wedding. And I didn't know what a processional was, but I learned quick. That wedding went great.
Wow.
After that, I'm like, let's make it legit. So I made a website, wedding wire listing, and the rest is history. Now I do, the biggest upgrade I did was finally got off the old computer and the old software and upgraded to Virtual DJ, MacBook Pro. And, I practiced with that for 2 months. And after that, I was chilling. Now I don't.
Off to the races.
Yeah. So now, like I said, 80-ish weddings a year, and we do a lot of corporate stuff too. We do school dances, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, just all over the place.
I mean, your story is so green. I mean, you were really, really green.
Nobody taught me anything. I mean, I learned how to, and that's transitioning perfectly to why I'm kind of an asshole. Like, I had to learn everything the hard way, as I'm sure like some other people here have. There was no YouTube videos. There was no like, here's how to wrap a cable. There was no such thing as a facade. Like, it was all just, I started with passive speakers. I went to an audio company saying, hey, I'm DJing a party. I need speakers. They rented me speakers. They rented me an amp. They showed me what to do. And then they helped me buy my first pair. They're like, get this, get this, get this. Oh, you're not getting enough bass. You need a subwoofer. What's a subwoofer? Got a subwoofer. I mean, I knew what a car subwoofer was, but I didn't know,
everybody did.
And so I got, a QSC HPR 151, I think it was the first sub I had, maybe an Eon sub. I don't even know. And then it's just, I learned the hard way instead of watching YouTube videos. And so but I learned a little bit about DMX from Brian S. Red, and then the rest from my guy he's the one who told me about Freestyler, and I've been using it ever since. I wish I had learned on like a legitimate, Grand MA or big console, but like for what I do, like my lighting laptop is perfect and I'm happy with it. So
that is freaking amazing. And I'm going to come back and touch on that. Let's get a couple of these questions here. So Wickman 2A asks, Solstice, do you ever use column arrays for your setups, or is it point source only?
I use column speakers. I use what they call a grown man's column array. It's just, when I DJ, I never want to see a clip light. And on my external Behringer mixer, I'm solid on the first green and barely touching the second. So I also use a crossover, so that adds a bit of gain there. But like a column array, out of any column array I would consider using would be the 44 G2s, because they sound great, they look great, and they're loud. But the rest, I have an 18-inch sub and the NXL. So if you've seen Rick Webb do it, he got the idea from me. There you go. There's the real answer there. It's the Solstice array. But and they're NXLs, not NLXs, but it's fine. I talk with him at DJ Expo. He knows. And if I need bigger than that, like this weekend, my version of a column array was the dual 18 in white, and then a white column speaker up top. And so it's just a bigger version. I like that look. I think it looks really nice. I think the the Evolves look sexy as hell. I think it's one of the nicest looking speakers. I just wish they sounded good, and I wish they were loud, and they're not, and they don't sound good. So.
All right. So DJ Skill Set says, any tips when people say you got to play full songs? Y'all know what I mean.
I actually get a lot of people that love, I bring it up in my consults. I say, we quick mix. I play 1.5, 2 minutes of each song. Like when I'm doing a 2.5 hour dance set, I'm playing about 100 songs. Sometimes,
on, man.
That's my thing. I get bored of it. So
yes.
The only full song I play, besides like I have a short edit of the Cha Cha Slide, which I don't even play Cha Cha Slide anymore, but obviously I'll play 3.5 minutes of that. It's like No Hands. You got to play the whole thing of that.
Yeah, right, because every verse.
Other than that, like that's the great thing about short. I download super short edits if there is one, just because that's perfect for me. So it's all about knowing how much of each song to play. Because again, like I used to have a super short edit of Dancing Queen, and it kind of robbed people in that it really only, first verse and a chorus, and then it was out instead of, I don't know. But
Solstice, I'll do you one better. The version of Dancing Queen I play right now is chorus only.
Really?
Yeah, because that's the part that people sing all the time. Like they're just like, you are the dance, and that's all they want to. That's all they want to sing. And so by the time I get out of that, nobody's looking at me like, oh, it's all. They're like, good, I got to hear Dancing Queen. And all it is chorus only. You should try it. You should definitely try it. I bet you'll get away with it. I'm almost certain you would. Eric Morado says, so talking about audio, what is your speaker setup you find using for most of your events?
I mean, most of my events I'm using the Stinger. Like I'm using the point source more often. I only bring the white tops out if they paid for the white setup. I only bring the NXLs out if it's a big like school dance. I want to use those more now that I have a cargo van, which I just bought last week. I'm going to bring those more. A lot of it was because what fits in my car, and I could fit a whole setup with 2 tops and a sub and some uplights and cold sparklers and everything else in the car. So I mean the Stinger, the LD Stingers. If you guys don't, the LD Stingers, great speaker. The G3s, they sound fantastic. It's a point source speaker, really nice looking box, really warm sound. So those I use the most. And then the ICOA subs I use the most. But I also use that 8008, the dual 18 a lot.
All right. Let's see here. Go back over here. All right. DJ King asked, where do you get the money from for all your gear? Do you have investors?
No, I buy it all myself. I do a lot of a lot of people don't know, but you can go on companies like Zounds and do like a payment plan that's not credit card. It's just pay as you go. A lot of these different places, like I don't think there's ever been a time in my life in the past 5 years that I haven't had a Klarna or Afterpay or Zounds or ShopPay or one of those payments due at some point. And it just helps because it's like instead of dropping $3,500 on a subwoofer, you can spread that out over 12 months. And then a lot of credit cards like the Amazon Prime card, if you want to make a big purchase, you can spread that out over 12 payments.
Over 12 payments.
I've never missed a credit card payment in my life. I could pay for it all right there, but I'm also Jewish and I don't like to put all that money out all the time.
You use a lot of the philosophies that I do. I do a lot of stuff, like that, especially through PayPal. Me and PayPal like this, we go back and forth. But a lot of these companies, at the end, they ask you if you want to use a certain pay method. And if they have PayPal, it's like, yeah, send it to me. I'll pay it monthly. Sure. Whatever. Let's just go ahead and do it.
Hollywood DJ is another great company. I'll make sure to tag them in this, shout them out, give me a discount code. But they also do like great payment plans, and they give you like 12% off too. Just call them. So
Pro Audio Star is another one too, guys. Yeah. I get a lot of good stuff from Pro Audio Star. They have a lot of accessories that that you may need that you can't find elsewhere. Like NFLX has a lot of accessories, but Pro Audio Star has a lot of those same accessories that you may need, like a little clip here or a bolt here, something like that. They have a lot of good stuff there too. Let's see. DJ Envision. These guys are ready for you today, Solstice. I mean, the questions are just flying here. DJ Envision, what is your opinion on the DJX this year? Favorite part, least favorite part, overall, etc.
I met Envision at the DJ Expo finally, but we've been talking for a while. It was great hanging out with him and all the other friends. I thought I'll definitely be back next year. I thought Atlantic City is complete dump, but there's nice parts of it if you could find it. There's just very limited food options. I mean,
Atlantic City, please don't ban us from that.
It's like Vegas without the hospitality. Like it's just and without the glitz and glamour. It is what it is. It's like a sad place to go gambling, but whatever. Anyway, DJX. I felt like the exhibits, like the exhibit hall was. I mean, I walked through it in 15 minutes. Like there was a couple cool things, but I mean, compared to NAMM, anybody that's on here, come out to NAMM and see what like a real show is like. But DJX had the parties at night and the people. That was great. Love that. Talked to so many people. Travis McGuire and I are friends again. So I'm 2 out, and then Lou Paris I'm cool with too. So I told Nick I'm 2 out of 3 away from getting into the DJ help desk. I couldn't talk to Rachel.
I was just about to say, everybody wants to know, did you make amends with Rachel?
Okay, so fun quick story. I ran into Cleveland Terry. I kind of knew him because we made the neon sign for him, but I finally met him in person in the hallway at a demo room. So we talked. I told him I was going to Colorado because this couple found me on YouTube. And then I was in his little seminar about social media. And he said, he didn't see me, but he said, I was in the hall talking to Solstice about how he's going to, he said Montana. He's going to Montana, DJ a wedding from YouTube. And then later when they opened it up for questions, I had raised my hand and say, thanks, Cleveland. It's actually Colorado. And the death stare that Rachel gave me in that was just cold, made my blood rush. Like just cold. She saw me in the side of the room and just gave me this side eye that you would never believe. And I was like, I cannot talk to you. I'm sorry. Like I was going to talk to her because she was all around the Danny Max booth, and I was going to, I don't even know. There's just, I've been nice to her for a while. Whatever. Move on. But favorite part of DJ Expo, DJ Puffy. Dude was incredible. I've never seen that style of DJing, that Red Bull, like, Scratch Master, Mix Master style. That was great. But
I was going to ask you about the rotation of DJs. Did you think that was, I can't stop thinking about that comment. The rotation of DJs that they had up on the platform. I guess it looked like it was like a little bit of a gathering right in front of the stage area, and then they had one DJ and then another DJ would come in. And was that pretty cool too?
Yeah, Tuesday night, everybody was very talented. Okay. Monday's disco show was, I think the DJs were not of the caliber that should be playing in a room full of DJs that are going to criticize everything. It was still fun, but Tuesday was my favorite night. Wednesday was Digital Dave's set was great. He was really cool.
He's really good.
Everybody after him was more just like deeper house music, so everyone kind of gathered on the patio instead. But yeah, it was cool. I didn't. That's the other thing is like I was thinking about playing at Rick Webb's booth, but here's a fun fact about me. I like to customize everything, and I tried Serato for all of a week. The reason I don't use it, I start my songs from the first hot cue, and I start my songs in pause. So I hit that hot cue. That's how I start the song. I don't ever really I press the play button to stop it at the end, but like I don't use the cue button, and I want the song to start from pause. Virtual DJ lets you do that. It also lets you customize everything like crazy. My mic knob for my mic level is actually my phaser knob. My controller is completely, all my pads, everything's completely custom mapped. And so like when I went to Colorado, I had to bring my controller. I couldn't just say, hey, you bring an SX2 or bring this. So.
Right. And you're using a FLX 10 or Rev 5?
No, Rain 4.
Rain 4. Okay. I know I saw you upgraded because you had a smaller controller before, right?
I had the Impulse 500 and Gold Edition 19 out of 1,000.
Yep, I
Uh,
remember
I
that.
I had the 2011 MacBook Pro, which I still have and it still works, but it's running Snow Leopard because if I were to upgrade software, it would the DJ software wouldn't work anymore. And
Right.
you got to think I have 12,000 songs. By the time I upgraded to this new MacBook, I probably had 11, and every single one of those was BPM analyzed, cue point set, everything. So it took me a good 2 or 3 months to really like go through every single playlist. Now I have probably 4 or 5 thousand songs, and then anytime I prep for an event, like obviously I'm analyzing whatever's in their playlists.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you actually would have DJ'd over with Rick, but you just couldn't customize it on there. I was thinking about why don't they have something there that anybody could drop. You know, like I guess they have like a Serato setup and a virtual DJ setup and a tractor setup. I mean, because all these. And one thing I heard Cleveland Terry say is like all these companies who are selling these booths. This would be a great opportunity for them to set up, have all these things, you know, ready to go, advertise, say how much it costs and all that stuff, and then you know whatever that DJ prefers, they can just drop in and play, you know, based on that. They've got, you know, laptop, as long as you bring your own hard drive for whatever you use, everything would just work like that. Does virtual DJ work where, you know, if you have all your songs and you have everything that you need, you could plug into any, you know, laptop with that software and it automatically switch to, you know, your whole setup
No, that's the thing is that it's when you customize it, it's custom on your own
on
laptop.
your
I
own
think
laptop? Okay.
I think you might be able to like export the skin and your settings, but it's all like your library. Everything is spaced out, like it's completely customized. And I mean, mine very optimized. When I look at mine, I have custom columns that are empty, but they're just used for spacing. Just because I'm very OCD spacing type, I need to be able to look up quickly and see what I'm playing. So yeah,
And there's no
let's get some.
chance of you ever coming back or coming to Serato at all. Like there's just no chance.
I have it. It's on my laptop right here, Serato DJ Pro. I don't like it. It's just the screen's blurry when you look at it too. What's up with that?
Okay. Here's our first controversial.
The troll question.
Yeah, here's our first controversial one here. You know, can we ask why he always trolls other DJs on message boards? I think he's already kind of covered
So
this, guy.
first off, I like to tell it like it is, and I don't like to sugarcoat it. If somebody told me like, "Oh, this is such a great setup. You're on your way, but maybe do this or maybe do that," you're not gonna change. You're gonna saying, "Oh, thanks for the advice," and then you probably won't do it. If somebody tells you your setup looks like shit, your facade's backwards, your cables are janky, why is your speaker leaning, like, or just a plain old yikes, this sucks, like, you're gonna actually take that to heart and maybe change. So it's a bit of tough love. I watch to anybody out there, anytime anybody posts anything that says gig log, I have like 3 different search fields on my YouTube, on my TV. So I watch every single gig log. I may not watch the whole thing because some of them just suck. But like I want to be impressed. I'm looking. I don't go into it thinking this is going to suck. I go into it thinking this person's new. Let me see what they have. And
True.
sometimes I'm impressed. Like you had KCK. You shouted him out earlier. I
Yeah.
loved his first gig log.
Yeah.
I think the rest of his are not living up to the hype of the first one. I was stoked that he played Odessa and like some of the stuff I play in the first one.
Yeah.
The rest are all. It gave me a fake sense of what Oregon's like, and then I realized what real Oregon is like, and I was kind of sad. But great DJ, great personality. So there's guys out there. I want to discover this talent, but I just there's so much bad out there that unless you call it out, like, I don't want people to keep continuing doing it the wrong way. And I'm not saying my way is right. A lot of times it is, but I produce great results, so I
It
don't think I'm the
does.
best DJ. I know I'm not the best DJ. I don't consider myself the best DJ. I think I'm pretty good at what I do. But there's people 10 times better than me. I mean, look at Spinelli, look at DJ Barr. I have mad respect for that guy. Like, if you want to talk about culture, that guy is the best at cultural weddings. I've never
Yes.
seen somebody dive so deep into the culture and mix it so perfectly and MC it so perfectly. Like, he's amazing at that. So I'm not all hate. Like I give love when it's deserved. There's another Greg Davis, I think is the name. I don't forget his name, but maybe Jay can link it. There's another DJ that I follow all the time, and he's great. So the other part of it, here's the real reason why I'm such an asshole is, uh, as you've heard, I've worked hard to get to where I am. Like,
Yep.
started from the bottom. Nobody handed me anything. We're on like one or two preferred lists, but I don't get handed gigs. Like, I'm not in some click network. I'm not in some wedding professionals group. Like, I'm in the Orange County wedding professionals, but nobody gives me anything from there. Like, everything I do is 90% of my business is organic. I spend $2,000 a month on ads, like through Google, through Instagram, through Facebook.
Wow.
Like, I'm putting a ton of money into getting my brand discovered. And like, I have videographers come to my events to film these beautiful recap reels that you see on my Instagram. Like, it's all content driven, and I post, 25 stories from every wedding so people can see exactly what I'm playing and how the lights look. Like, I work hard, and when I see people that have a social media channel of one post a month or every other month, and they're out there gigging every weekend doing like one story, oh look, congratulations Jason and Erica, like, and then they just get booked over and over. They have no reviews, but it's all word of mouth, or they have all these partnerships with venues. That's the shit that pisses me off, and it's why it's just like, why do some people have to work so hard and
Right.
spend all this money, and then others, and then that's the other thing, is that it's such a closed network a lot of times that people don't even think to look your direction. Like for the Ritz-Carlton wedding,
Yeah.
they would never think to book me. They don't even know who DJ Solstice is, but
Right.
because their couple wanted somebody specific and I happen to be that specific person, they're like, okay, we're going to trust this guy we've never heard of. Maybe they look me up. Maybe they're like, oh, great, he's got 200 5-star reviews. Like, we can trust him. But maybe they didn't. And they're just like, the client wants this. Let's hope it's not a disaster. I just think more planners and people that are in the powers that be need to just expand and see what else is out there and
I
give more
agree.
opportunities to people like me and others. So it's not just the same, because Orange County Wedding Professional Group, I see the same planners with the same DJs, with the
Yep.
same florists, with the same dance floor people, with the same rental companies, week in, week out. And sure, that's great, but like, there's other people that do really cool stuff, and they should get a chance. So
I agree.
there's your wholesome moment of why Matt's an asshole.
Look, man, you gave so many nuggets and stuff in there, because that was some of the question that I actually had for you. Like with your social media, why do you put so many videos and stuff of the party? Now I understand you've hired a videographer to get you those clips, and
That and like, yeah, and people will never. The thing that I never get is, do you have any video? Like, if they've found me through Instagram or YouTube, I don't get the "Do you have any videos of you mixing?" or anything like that. I don't really have to like show people like or sell to like my sales process. They come in, inquiry through my website. I send them one email asking for a few more details, what they're kind of into, what they're looking for. They respond to that. I send them a price. Then they say, "Oh, this is so great! Like, we'll get back to you after we have time to review." 2-3 days later, can we set up a call? Sure. Call done. Contract. Two,
yep,
3 emails done. Like, it's not a people see what I do. It's all right there.
yep.
Like, setups, pictures, results. So
And that's why I say, after a while, you don't do it you stop doing it for the numbers as far as subscribers and followers. Like that's
by
neither here
the
nor there. That's not going to pay not one bill in your house.
by
You know
the,
what
the
I'm saying?
first story gets 300, 400, 500 views sometimes. By
Right.
the time we're at the last one, we're at like 95.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that stuff pays for anything. I just put that stuff out there just so if you come through, there's no question on what I do. There's no question on what I can show you that I can do, and there's no question on whether or not I can do your event. All you got to do is reach out to me. Boom, I've sent you something. Easy peasy. You knock it out. Boom, we're booked. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that. And if you need a video, if after all of that you still have to convince somebody, there's YouTube. Here's the link right here to my last video.
Like, I had a couple recently. They wanted to see videos of me transitioning.
Yeah,
That's it. And I'm like, here's a whole video where I just got this cool controller and look at all the fun stuff I do.
yeah.
So,
Oh man, ooh, that's some great stuff. Benny Blanco, he says, what DJs inspired you growing up?
Afrojack and Laidback Luke, that Dirty Dutch movement. Those are my two inspirations.
Layback Lou, he's got a YouTube channel too, right?
Yeah, and he was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
DJ Expo.
I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. I think. DJ Romeo, great. What record pools are you using for your tracks?
DMS only. I only use DMS. Anything else, like if I need something, we'll say that I didn't say that maybe I have a YouTube ripper that works great. I find stuff on SoundCloud too. Some of the deeper level remixes
Yeah, some
that you
good
hear,
stuff.
like
I've
the
got
tech.
some good stuff from there. Now is that just by choice? You don't want to check out other pools, or
I like. I had BPM Supreme before they changed the interface. I just didn't like the way it was organized. I like that I could just log into DMS, sort it by date, and just go. I like that it's not overloaded with too much stuff. What was the record pool that promo only has way too much stuff.
right?
It's not selective, but at the same time, like I used to have promo only because they had stuff that DMS didn't. But um, yeah, and then the other way I find music. Here's a shameless plug. If you follow me on Instagram, every Friday I do this thing called Solstice Selects, where I have 4 or 5 different Spotify playlists that I go through and listen to every single song in there using a little quick feature in Spotify, and I pick out 5 to 10 of my favorite songs for that week. Usually they're electronic, but sometimes they're country, top 40, whatever. And I just post it up on as a link on my Instagram. It's called Solstice Selects. You can subscribe there, or whatever, and you'll have some good music like me.
That's what's up. Look at that. And make sure y'all check that out on Fridays. All right, let's see here, man. So many asking here. Let's see.
Ceremony.
Somebody asked, "What laptop do you use?"
MacBook Pro M3 Max, the souped up version. Also, pro tip: any of us DJs can just say you're in music producing, and you can get the Apple Educator discount. It's like $200 off.
Besides YouTube, what is your best method to get your brand out there? Facebook ads, Google ads.
Instagram. Don't do Facebook ads. Do Instagram ads through Facebook, because you can, through Facebook Ads Manager, you can really target your audience. Like I have mine targeted to engaged, like people that are engaged, but also like music festivals or interested in a certain type of artist.
Do you
Google
get
ads are good.
do you get any really, I don't even want to say leads because they're always finicky, but do you get bookings from Facebook at all?
No, Facebook is for old. I'm sorry. Facebook's for old people. My mom and my dad know more about Facebook than I do. I literally am on Facebook for the groups. That's it. It's big in the Midwest. I mean, DJ Rachel built her whole business off of it. She doesn't even have a website. It's all Facebook. So it must work out there. But out here, nobody cares about your Facebook following. Instagram is huge. You know what? You don't see wedding planners tagging Facebook pages. No, when they send out the list of all the different people that are at the wedding, all the vendors, it's all Instagram tags.
Damn you,
It's
Solstice. Damn you.
I'm sorry, Facebook is useless. It's so useless. For me at least.
What's crazy about Facebook is I've always said it's just the old method. Like everybody uses Instagram. Like I mean, if you're going to book somebody on the wedding, you want to see images, you're going to go to Instagram. You're not going to go to somebody's Facebook. But I did create a Facebook and a kind of a business page ish type deal just so my stuff can be over there as well. Just because I don't even know why I did. Now that I think about it, I probably need to take that. Probably need to take that down. I don't use it. I don't get any bookings from it. I don't get any inquiries from it. I don't get anybody doing anything from Facebook. People put my name in the hat on Facebook, but I never get those leads because they're always looking for a deal.
That's the other thing. I talked to Tyler Wallace, who does the whole Ministry of Sound thing over there in Boston, or Harvest of Sound, and he says we get like 40 or 50% of their bookings are from Facebook groups, somebody suggesting their company. But out here, you will literally have somebody say, I'm looking for a DJ for this Saturday in October, budget of $800.
Yeah.
And there's 25 DJs putting their name in, ready to go.
Yeah.
And I don't bother with Facebook.
That's how it is here. DJ K, do you save your music to a hard drive or do you save it all to a laptop?
All to the laptop. I've never understood the hard drive thing. I don't know how people have that much music. Tell you exactly right now. I have 12,000 and I don't even know because it's too long. I have 12,889 songs, and it's only like 120 gigabytes. So I have a terabyte hard drive on here. So I've never had an external hard drive. I back everything up, obviously, but I use Time Machine. But no, everything's stored on here. And these M3 Maxes are. I've only ever had the fans come on twice, and once when I was analyzing the entire library all at once, and the other time when it was like 110 degrees outside.
I think you try to do
But
12,000 at one time.
I just, in Virtual DJ, it'll show you like the library, like your browser window, and it'll analyze all the stuff in the browser window. And it won't put cue points, but it just BPM analyzes it and all that stuff. The minute you start scrolling down, it starts loading bit by bit, analyzing those. This computer, I'd go a little bit down, it would analyze them no problem. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
And took about 10 minutes, but analyzed all 13,000.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. Wickman 2A, Solstice, would you rate, I'm sorry. How would you rate the LD ICOA subs versus the EV, EKX, or other similar subs around the $1,000 price point?
I don't think there's a better sub than that ICOA. Realistically, LD system for the price. I've had multiple single 18s. I had a $3,500 RCF 8,000 or something. I don't know, 8,004, I think it was. I really didn't like it that much. For the price, it's absurd, but I think that ICOA is one of the best subs. LD Systems owes me money for, or owes me some free stuff. I've sold more for them than Aaron Strawn has, but I'm not sponsored by them. So, I need to go to my YouTube channel and like take out each comment where it says, I bought this sub because of you. Because I've never once heard somebody not impressed by that sub. It's big and it's kind of awkwardly shaped because it's not a perfect square. It's tapered at the back, but it's a phenomenal sub. And I think they even dropped it to like $8.99 now.
Really?
It's a great sub. It thumps hard. It does hit a ceiling. So when you're getting louder and louder, there will be a point to where your tops will outrun that sub, depending on your tops. But I used to have K10.2s, and I think like that's probably the upper limit of what it can keep up with. So, but you can also add a second and flip it around and do cardioid mode, and sounds fantastic. That's a little bit more technical, but I love those ICOA subs.
Oh, Solstice, here comes the hate and stuff here. JTM says, not a big fan of Solstice.
It's fine.
Hopefully you know who. I hope you know who that is. Hopefully they're just joking with you and stuff. I hope people didn't come here just to say what they need to say.
It's fine. It's fine. I know. I have some haters.
DJ Metro NYC says, since you have had the Rain 4, any issues with it?
No, love the Rain 4. Only thing I've ever had happen, and this isn't specific to the Rain 4, if you're using CO2. If you have CO2 blasters from China, this can happen. If you don't have them on a separate circuit and they're on the same circuit as your mixer, when you fire them, it can cause your mixer to just so slightly hiccup a little bit, and you'll be offbeat, which has happened to me with my old mixer and with the Rain 4. So, but other than that, no, it's a solid piece. I do have a couple little like burn marks, if you want to say, like little indentations on the platters, which I think is from the cold sparks hitting it. So you might want to watch out for those, but I'm too poor to afford not too poor, but I can't justify spending $700 or $800 for a battery bank for a cold spark yet. Because we run our cold sparks all night too. We don't just do them for first dance and exit. Because of that, I have to keep them somewhat close to where the DJ booth is for power, even though I could run them in front of the Sweetheart table, but then they're going to be in the picture for the Sweetheart table. I don't know. I think the cold spark thing is kind of fading away.
Interesting. It actually started to pick up. I think that is where you're at. When you're in Southern California, you're probably going to use that a lot more than I use it here in South Carolina. So when people see that, it's still a wow factor here. When they're like, well, we saw that at Susan's wedding, so I wouldn't get that. Like I'm kind of good. Like it's probably wearing thin because of how many people have actually seen it. Here, Here nobody
uses it.
Yeah, nobody really sees it.
I've had photographers literally shoot the couple doing a first dance with sparklers in the background and not even pointed at the sparklers. They're pointing the opposite direction.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
just like, why did I bring these?
Wow. Let's see here. Oh goodness, I am Al. He should change his name to DJ Arrogance. Kevin Sounds, DJ Arrogance. Oh my
Oh,
gosh. Oh my gosh. We all knew that this show was going to be just a little bit different. Um,
no. I
let's
told these
see.
people I don't think I'm the best. I'm not. I'm not saying I'm the best DJ. I'm not saying my way is right, but I produce sound results with what I do. If it works for you, great. But I'll tell people all the time, zip ties are going to make your stuff look better than Velcro and bungee cords or tape. I don't know. That's just me.
Oh my gosh. That's classic. Eric Morado asked me next week, how about we do a 3-way interview, yourself, Solstice. I would have to. I would
Like
have
we
to
made
be
up.
the moderator for that.
I was under the impression we made up because every Monday night. Here's a shameless plug that they told me. Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night, we do this thing called the DJ Roundtable. It's at I don't even know the time it's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So whatever time it is in your area, they do it on Twitch, and it's like 4 or 5 of us DJs. We talk about stuff, and then it's posted on YouTube the next week. But Rachel was on the show once. I
Mhm.
apologized to her. I said, I'm sorry for what I may have said in the past. Like, I respect you as a DJ. Got no problems with you now. Thought we had water under the bridge. I'd never commented on any of her things since then. I don't comment on her YouTube videos. I don't interact with her in the groups. But because of what we had in the past, I had her blocked on Facebook, right? So when this DJ help desk rolls around, she's already blocked. I can literally not unblock her. I look through my block list on Facebook trying to unblock her, but I can't even message her saying I can't unblock you. So it's like all of them just assume I reblocked her and I hate her for some reason. Like I literally just can't unblock her. Like she does not show up in my block list on Facebook. So maybe she has me blocked. I don't know, but they kicked me out of that group and it's fine. I really don't care.
Man,
Like
we,
I
we're
have
going
a
to get a
connection.
petition started and stuff for you here, Solstice,
Right.
to get you in that DJ help desk.
I'm just
It's too
trying to get
easy to
people
be in there.
people need to play better music. That's all. I'm just trying to convince people get out of your comfort zone, learn how to play good remix. Here's your pro tip as we're closing. Like the way I find great music and how I pick out my remixes, you want to get as close to the original as possible and to the point where people are going to know the words, but then there might be a little surprise. So like there's a drop. Like perfect example, the Throttle remix of September. We all know it. A lot of us
Yep.
play it.
Yep.
It's pretty damn close to the actual September.
Right.
But then it's got when it goes yeah, it's like slowed down, and then you hype them up. 1, 2, 3, let's go. There's a little bit of a beat drop, but it's not intense. It's perfect for any crowd. And you test the waters with something like that, they respond well to it. Then you go into that Dance with Somebody, We Found Love, Falsenius, whatever remix that
Mm-hmm.
I stole from you years ago from BPM. That was the only reason I got BPM Supreme was for that remix.
That
Uh,
remix.
yeah, and that I had it for a bit. But it's about reading your crowd. I think I'm very skilled at reading the crowd and just uh, sometimes you got to know how to like quick mix out of something if it doesn't work. But there's certain songs that are trending that would go great, and sometimes they don't. And then there's just remixes. Another thing I'll do is, for example, my Mr. Brightside remix. It's a mashup with Thief from UK, who's like a or OK or UK, however you pronounce it. He's like a dubstep guy,
Okay.
and the initial mashup only has the first verse of Mr. Brightside. When it gets to the chorus, it drops all the drums and the guitar, and it builds into that other drop. What I did is made my own mashup, where it's the first 2 verses of Mr. Brightside, and then the third one goes into that. So you get enough of the original, and then you get a surprise drop. And then, like, that's my song where I test the waters of can we go into dubstep? Can we go deeper into EDM?
Right.
Because that's got like a dubsteppy drop, but it's not
Right.
intense. So, Magic Formula, I'll go from that into a remix of Gangsta's Paradise. It's actually, here's a free help for everybody. It's the Machaki remix, Machaki remix, and it's like a dubsteppy remix of Gangsta's Paradise. That goes over well. You just go from there, and soon you'll have everyone headbanging. I don't know.
I like it. Look, I like it. I love how you test the water and you use another song and maybe a different beat and stuff behind it to test the waters out to see. I mean, because that's what reading the room is. That's exactly what that is. That's how you find out whether or not your crowd is susceptible to that.
Exactly. And when I organize like my thing with YouTube, we touched on this once. I don't like to show in my gig logs me playing the same songs. I always want it to be fresh stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if you look at my top 5 or top 100 list, you're gonna have things like "I Don't Care" by Icona Pop. You're gonna have
Right.
"Hotel Room Service." You're gonna
Right.
have all the essential "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme," "September," "Two of Us," like "This Is How We Do It." Obviously, all that stuff's in there, but like
Right.
I'm not showing that. Like obviously, I'll play it at almost every gig, but I'm not gonna show that on my Instagram because like I'm also playing other stuff. So I have a whole playlist that I make for each wedding, and it's like quick rundown of my system. If it's I basically the couple sends me a Spotify playlist of like their requests. If they have must plays, I'll tag them a certain color. But usually they have their request 30 to 40 songs. I'll throw that in a playlist, and then I'll throw another playlist. I'll tag those requests so I know where the requests are. But then I'll tag stuff that I'm like, I haven't played this in a while, or this
Yep.
is something new.
Yep.
And I'll have like I literally have a playlist that says fucks with these, like stuff to fucks with, and we'll see if it goes well. So I always want to mix in new stuff. The biggest thing for me transitioning from the old software to this one, I now have a date added field, so I can sort by when I have like sort by new stuff. My old software, I could not sort by, most recently added. So now I can like add in stuff that I just got or just want to try out. So that's
That's a
me.
lot.
I try
That's
to
a
keep.
lot of the same methods and stuff that I use. When they give me some type of list, I try to pick out stuff that I don't necessarily play, but maybe I haven't tested the water on, and I'll put it couple suggestions. And then during the middle of the night, if I know I've got two songs, but I could probably fit one of their songs in between those two songs, at least I know that coming into their song, I've already played a banger. If their song doesn't work, the next song is going to be one that I know that's going to work. So it's just easy to transition through. But I mean, you never know if you don't try it out. So I mean, I totally agree. Just throwing some music in there, testing the water, getting your feet wet, and just going for it. Sometimes, man, so many people just are just like, no, I'm just gonna play the same stuff over and over, whole songs. Let's get them slides going.
All the foreign-ish sounding songs, not like language wise, but just stuff that people are like, what is this even? It's not always the couples playlist that's like a must play.
Right.
It's a lot of times it's like just today, perfect example. I found a remix of Million Dollar Baby, the Hayes flip, Heyz, and it's like super dubsteppy. And then I also found the next episode, Wooly made a flip of it. Flip is like the new name for remix, but not
Right.
super remixy.
Yeah.
And you'll hear it this weekend. I'm gonna try it out, and that's all it is. Try it out and see. People are what you don't want to do is kill the dance floor. And here's a
Hell
great
no.
tip: that stupid song by Tommy Richmond, not Million Dollar Baby, the other
The
one,
other one,
uh,
yeah.
is killing dance floors. Just nobody knows it.
Right.
I even like at this past wedding where it was a bunch of Gen Zs, and like even they weren't vibing to it. But you play Chapel Roan, and they're screaming and jumping like crazy.
Yeah. One of the rules that I've started to use, like if a new song comes out and I'm seeing it on Reels and TikToks and stuff like that, I know that people know it and people are going to sing it no matter what. They're just going to do it. The same thing happened with Boo Thing. Same thing happened with Murder on the Dance Floor. All of these songs like that, if I've seen it on any type of Reel, TikTok, anything like that, and it's being played, I don't even trust new songs to just drop out because I'm like, the only way that I know that it's getting out and people are using it, if they're using it when they're putting out content. And I can see that. Like, that's letting me know, okay, that's it. Their ear, this one. And some songs, look, I have no idea what the hell some of these songs and stuff are, but I'm just like, you know what? If this guy's got 2 million likes and stuff on it, it obviously is something. So I'm just going to use it. And I mean, that's my rule of thumb. If it hadn't hit one of those platforms, I don't use it at all. Let's see. Metro NYC. We'll take a couple more of these and then we're going to let Solstice go, man. We can't keep them all night. I have a set of QSC 12.2s and QSC 112s, but sometimes I feel like the K112s needs a little bit more bass. What do you think about adding an ICOA 15 to that setup?
I mean, an ICOA 18 would be fine. The 12.2s, in my opinion, are very harsh. They scream out those highs. That's why I had the 10.2s. I didn't like the sound of the 12s. But that 112, unless you have the cardioid sub, like it's a great sub, but once you start getting really loud, it's a 12. It's not going to hit like an 18. So I'd get the Icoa 18 if you want, or just spend $3,500 and get an 8008 dual 18 RCF. That's the RCF I have that I love. It's an 8008. It was $3,500, and it's a powered dual 18. Phenomenal sub.
Oh, wow. Oh man, Solstice has given us so many nuggets and stuff here today. I just wanted to ask a couple of quick questions on here. I tried to put together this, would you rather type list here, and I want to see.
We got 55 people in here. I'm pulling you big numbers.
Yeah, you definitely are, because I was looking at the numbers. I was like, what's going on? The Solstice, like.
I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, what if I'm just known as being this notorious YouTube guy that's just like that asshole, but like people have him on his show and their numbers shoot through the roof. Like, put me on Aaron's show. He's gonna have 300 viewers. Put me on Cleveland's show.
That's crazy.
First you, now give me Aaron Strawn next. Like I've taught that guy so many things and like sent him so many nuggets, like with his setups and like all sorts of little things here and there. And it's just I've watched him grow into this massive YouTuber, and like he's so funny, he's hilarious, he's very entertaining.
He definitely is.
His show isn't like yours. He doesn't like respond to the comments. He talks what he's going to talk, and maybe he'll look at the chat section once or twice, and it's like, I've watched it, but I don't want to watch it because I can't interact with it.
You can't interact with it, right? I totally understand. Yeah, I just kind of watch Aaron, and I've seen him grow and stuff too, because before he came across my screen every so often. Now he just pops up everywhere. Like I turn on YouTube, I see something Aaron Strong. I'm like, what in the hell's going on? I just subscribed to him. You don't have to show me everything he's got. But he's great. He's great, man. And you know what? I'm glad I was the first one to take a chance and bring Solstice on, because let me tell you this. I was nervous. You can ask Mike. I was nervous. I was like, I don't know what Solstice is going to say on Thursday.
You can ask the people at DJ Expo. I'm not a bad guy.
Right. And I don't think you're a bad guy. That's the thing. I don't think you're a bad guy. I just know that you have had some wars on this thing right here. You have had some wars. So I didn't know who was going to come out, who's going to be like, you know what? I finally got him on the show, and I'm going to let his ass have it right while he's on the show. But everybody's been great. A couple people came on and said what they said, but it is what it is. That's to be expected. But let's ask you these questions here, and then we'll let you hop off here. All right. This is what either or here, so you just pick one. Would you rather do an EDM style wedding or a full Latin style wedding, now that you know all these different genres of music?
EDM all day, every day.
EDM all day, man. Have you ever sat down and listened to a Latin DJ play?
I mean, I played some pretty majority Spanish weddings. Other than DJ Bar, I have a couple Latin guys that I follow, but it's like American music. There's so many. It's kind of like EDM. There's subgenres of Latin music. Like you got cumbia and merengue, bachata, salsa, reggaeton. Like it's all over the place. So
yeah, I have a couple of guys who DJ a specific bar here, and it's the only Latin bar that I know of. And they are the ones who gave me a lot of music. And then sometimes when I hear these other DJs who have Latin, they know a lot of Latin music, I'll listen, and I'll get out my phone and I'll try to Shazam the shit out of that and be like, you know what, let me hear that. What is that? Can I get that? And I'll try to text them or email them, and they don't respond. But I'm always trying to up my game in Latin, because I really want to get into that market here. I think that there's a market that's untapped here. Let's see, furniture or facade?
I like the furniture. I think it's nice. It's just not practical for me. I have been considering a TV style booth, but without the TV. So there's a guy here that actually does custom woodwork. I really like kind of like a bar top style, one of those fancy wooden bars that's more portable. I like that because I need the shelf space. Nobody cares about the TV on the front. I feel like it is what it is. Like, nobody cares. Like,
you're like me. I'm not done with that.
I don't know if it was you or somebody else. I think it was you who told me about TVs that people just look at them, and you don't want people to stand there and look at the TV and watch a slideshow.
Right.
And then if you're just doing a monogram, I like. I think the wall projection is much cooler,
Yes,
and
thank you.
photo op and on the booth. Like, I think they're cool. Like the stuff Logan Low Stacks makes. I like. If you want to make one for me, Logan, go ahead. Like, I would pay you for it. But I just, I don't know. There's possibilities now that I have the van, but I would rather have something that's a flat tabletop surface that I can actually, because I sometimes I have just sometimes I'm doing just DJing, so I don't need the laptops.
Right.
But then other times, like this weekend, when we're like this weekend at the Ritz, if you saw my Instagram, I'm DJing. I'm also running laser, so there's a laser laptop next to me,
Yeah, I
and then my
saw.
lighting is standing next to me running lighting. So we've got three laptops on that table. A mixer, microphone, the receivers, like so. I don't. I the whole T style booth that you have, like props to you, but
Well,
I'm good.
that same concept that you say with those laptops. I mean, you can just kind of have that like off to the side, and that person could still be back there operating behind a facade if you wanted them to.
The other thing for me, I can't stand to have anything under my feet when I'm DJing. I don't even do an ergo mat. Like I need flat surface. I don't want to step on any
Really?
cables. Yeah, I
Okay.
cannot have anything under my feet. I'm weird like that.
I could no, that's not weird. I totally understand that. Mike gets on me all the time because my mat it moves the whole time that
Yeah,
I'm
I had
DJing,
a
and
mat.
I have to step off and slide it back up with
Yeah,
my foot and then get back on.
I had a mat. I was the same way. My feet would hurt too, and then I just found more comfortable shoes instead. But
Yeah.
I've thought about like a big like kitchen mat that's like 6 feet long by like 2, 3 feet deep. Like, but then it's just I don't want to transport that.
Oh, and this question that I had on here, this was before I saw what you just bought. I actually asked van or trailer, but then I just recently saw you bought a van, so that kind of takes that whole thing away. So my next question is moving platters or bass controller?
I don't scratch really. I never learned how to scratch. None of the guys that I like started DJing around scratched. So I liked though. I played with the Rain Performer,
Uh-huh.
and it can work with virtual DJ, and it can start from pause. So I mean, I thought it was cool, but do I need it? No, I don't really. I think scratching is cool, but I don't. I don't know. I can also just hit a button and do a virtual scratch with virtual DJ.
Would you ever consider learning to scratch?
Yeah, I think so. I actually have my crossfader disabled, so
Okay.
sure. I only use the up faders. I don't even use the crossfader. My other problem is I always have long sleeves on when I'm DJing, and I don't roll them up. So when my laptop's on the left side, sometimes I'll accidentally hit the crossfader. So I have it disabled.
All right, and these are just some questions just to see what's next for Solstice here. So, what's going to be your next big purchase?
Well, I just got the cargo van, so that was a hit to the wallet.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
But I didn't pay. I only did I did 15 down. I didn't pay for the whole thing in cash. But um, next I mean, probably some type of like DJ booth thing. It's either that or by the end of this year, I am looking to sell my lasers. So if anybody is interested in those
Oh,
lasers, they're 3 watt. I'm upgrading to 10 watt.
oh okay. I
Um,
was just about to ask, are you
the
replacing them?
problem is if I have a venue where all the lights are off, like the Ritz this weekend,
Yeah.
phenomenal, works great. But a lot of times venues will just have the lights dim enough, but bright enough, and then the photographers have their bright ass lights, and video has their bright ass lights, and that defeats the purpose of all your lights. So
You
the 10
saw
watt
what
laser,
you saw what I did at
yeah,
the beginning of the show when I showed that clip, right?
we don't. We don't. That's a strictly Southern thing.
Yep.
I maybe not strictly, but I've only ever had that one time, and the couple was from Texas. I've
Yep.
never. We don't. Same thing with checkerboard dance floors. We don't really have checkered dance floors out here. It's all white or wooden.
I definitely think that that's a Southern thing, and I can't stand it, but it just takes away from the ambience of the night. I
It's
hate
such a
it.
like. Look at us and our big ass last name. Like I don't get it.
Um. Oh, I did meant to ask you this one: concert or festival?
I like festivals, but not Coachella. I hate Coachella. Like if people from not from California don't understand, Coachella is in the desert, and it's in the springtime when the desert is really hot
Ooh.
and it's really dusty and it's really windy. And if you have allergies, it's a nightmare, and it's just gross out there. And you can't find any cold water after like 2 or 3 p.m. You can find cold alcohol all night long, but they don't refill the ice bins where the water is. And so like, it's just miserable. But
it's cool to watch on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm going to try and get to Ultra Music Festival next year. I went in 2015. That's the one in Miami. That one's pretty cool. But I like concerts, but just festivals, you get so much more for your money. And like, if one artist sucks, like I went to see Cheat Codes recently. I'm a big fan of Cheat Codes, but I just didn't like, I thought the opener was better than them DJing wise. They're more producers than they are DJs.
Right.
They weren't bad, but it was whatever.
Okay. So let's say one thing in your setup has to go right now. What's that one thing?
Well, that ties into the piece of gear that I hated the most, which was my rock and roller carts. I hated rock and roller carts.
You're like the third person that's I've come across recently that said that.
I have Rockville, the carts. They're fantastic. Anybody that wants a better cart, go with the Rockville one. It's $160. It's made of solid steel. When you pull the handles, you're not pulling it to where the handles are going to bend up a hill like the gravity one's just the rock and roller is poorly designed. But piece of gear that would have to go that I still have.
Yep.
That's a tough question.
You can keep everything else, but this has to go.
Probably the TVs. I don't really use them though. I like stuff that I use that I hate bringing out. Probably cold sparks. Like I hate connecting those and wiring them.
Yep.
Oh no, here's a better one. The tubes. I hate those tubes. Those tubes you see.
The 360 tubes.
I have my own version. I can't stand them. I like them better than mine are 180. They don't do the 360. They're a lot cleaner because they're one piece. They don't have a handle on the bottom.
Right.
But they were the story behind the tubes. I saw Asteras way back when. This company I bought, they were the first ones to knock off Astera tubes from China. And I got them in 2022, January, paid $3,000 for a set of 8 of them in a flight case with all the mounting brackets. They're rechargeable and they worked great. But 2 weeks into having them, I did an event. It was an event for Patron. Pool boy knocked one into the pool. They're not waterproof. They're water resistant. So that one died. So then I reached out to the company to get a replacement. They're like, we can't ship you just one. We have to ship you like a whole case. I'm like, well, I don't need a whole case. I just need one. So I went back and forth. And finally I got them to agree to send one. The one they send, the wireless DMX that's built in doesn't work anymore. So there's that. And then, so I'm like, well, this doesn't work. And then I was at a wedding show and a little girl knocked one into the ground, smashed it, destroyed the electronics on it. So Jesus. I got them to send me a replacement for that, but not a replacement for the other one. They're like, here's the parts for the other one, but the parts you have to solder in there. It's not like just swap it up and plug it in. So now I have 6 that work because one of them decided to stop working. So through all of this crap, they also make stands for them. The stands sucked. And so I use these on-stage stands to put them up in the air. Those suck too. And so I basically started a whole credit card claim with my credit card company and only paid $800 for the whole set instead of the $3,000. It took 2 or 3 months to go back and forth with the company. They were trying to like, oh, drop the claim, we'll send you brand new ones. And I was just like, the quality just, yeah. So I hate those. I would love to get not Asteras, but Chevet well sticks because you can DMX them a little bit more easier than Astera, but the price is just absurd. And I don't like the look of both tubes. They're just, to me, the size is a bit wonky and they don't look professional.
Yeah. I haven't gotten to that point yet where wanting tubes. I just don't see it. Plus, I see these guys try to say that, it lights up the dance floor enough, but I don't see it.
We use them as eye candy.
Yeah.
Use them as eye candy.
Right. And see, I think that those tubes are mainly to highlight you as a DJ. And I'm like, I don't need to be highlighted. That's what this furniture is. I got this furniture to stand out, not these freaking lights around me to stand out. Like, I'm good. I'm good. I probably will never get those. What's your most played song at a wedding? Like, it's probably going to be an obvious one. But what's your most played song at a wedding?
Let's look at the the virtual DJ. I should preface this by saying I only switched to virtual DJ in February when I switched everything over, so my play counts are not super accurate. I mean, my top played song for 33 play count is Hotel Room Service, but it's the mashup with the one that all of us use with Wow, the Tiesto song.
Yep.
So, but I mean, that one's probably my go-to at weddings. That and like I want All I Do Is Win, the G Kid Raise Your Hands bootleg that everybody plays to. So probably those two. I mean, neither of those are my favorite to play at weddings, but they get played at almost every single one, I would say.
And then check this out. I want you to look on your laptop, and I want you to just go to where all your songs are, and I want you to tell me what your most played song period is. So that was your wedding song. Now what's your most played song period?
Let me go to my weddings playlist. Well, see, all I do is weddings, so it's probably the same. Not all I do, but yeah, I mean, my most played is Hotel Room crossed with Wow, crossed with Dash Star. I have a remix of that song that's goes to Hotel Room Service, then goes to Wow by Tiesto, and then it goes to Dash Star by Knock 2. So if I get that deep into it, I have a mix out point after Wow in case they're not feeling the EDM, but if they want to go to it, that's number one. Surprisingly, here's the hate, Dancing Queen, number 2. Gimme, 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 Sergeant Slick's Melbourne Recut, number 3. We Found Love, number 4. September, number 5. I Love It, Dance With Somebody, All I Do Is Win. How Deep Is Your Love, T. Paul Sachs, Alex Slam remix. Great one on DMS, by the way. Oh. And then Hips Don't Lie finishes the top 10. Hips Don't Lie, it's the Ziggy and Replay M remix. It's like a more kind of tribal Moombahton remix. It's
really?
Super good. And then here's the vanilla again, Low right after that. So, I mean, like I said, I play all the vanilla crap too. I just don't, I don't like to, and that's not what my forte is doing. Like, but of course, that's why, like, when everyone gives me all this hate for like, oh, you can't play all this new stuff. Like, I play regular stuff just like everyone else.
Everybody has those go-to wedding songs because they're universal. They work everywhere, no matter where you go. It works. But what Solstice and I are trying to say in general is that there are more songs out there. I mean, I get people in my comments all the time, hey man, you played the same song on the last gig law that you did on this one. I'm like, to you, I may have played the same song that they had, but that customer right there has never heard that version of that song played in that way. And you don't know what I did after that. You have no idea. But they're just seeing a snippet of the night and just thinking, oh, well, he plays that song on every gig law. Everybody plays September on every wedding gig law, right? You name one DJ who doesn't play September.
True. Hip Hop Parade to Return of the Mac all the time, right?
Right. Like come on, man. Like, look, I come up with combinations and stuff here and there, but I have a whole list of music, and sometimes I like the combination. So yeah, I may wear it out on my end, but to them, it's the first time they're hearing it. And when I mix something else, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I like that. Well, I'm gonna use that. And then people are like, well, why you keep doing that? Well, damn, I'm coming up with a routine here. I could do a whole wedding. I could do an extra hour just based on some of this other stuff that I'm doing. Like, it's just, I mean, people.
I have couples that'll actually, they follow me on Instagram, and they'll know, because I always, for Spanish, I do this song called Sonidito, which is like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's like, it's the one everybody knows. But I have and I have a special mix where before the second 1, 2, 3, 4, I go into La Chona. And so, like, sometimes people aren't even surprised anymore because, like, I do it all the time. So, but yeah, a lot of time you're always DJing for a new crowd. So they may, people in the crowd have never heard what you're playing. It's just everyone else has.
Right. And my gig logs are, sorry guys, I know that you guys think that I put gig logs out for you, but the gig logs are not for you. It's literally not for you. I mean, you can watch them, but they're not for you. They're for content, and they're for my clients so that they can see updated last week type stuff, not something I put out 9 months ago. That's what it's for. So that's why I do that. So, Oh man, this has been great, Solstice. I have kept you longer than any other guest that I've had. I've also had the biggest numbers that I have ever had. Man, I really, really appreciate you taking the time out to kick it and just allowing me to take that first risk. I'm just your first interview plateau as you go off, because now people are going to see this and be like, you know what? We can have that guy on. He'll actually do good on our show and have you on, bro.
Aaron Strong, I'm coming for you next.
Yeah, well, hopefully we get you on Aaron Strong, then we'll take this whole audience and bring them over there. That way, Aaron Strong's number just go right through the roof, man, and it'll just be great. DJs helping DJs, man. I really, really appreciate you coming through, though, bro.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, you can follow DJ Solstice at DJ Solstice right under his name right there on all social media platforms. And you can check him out on YouTube if you want to see some of his electric work. Some of that stuff you see on Instagram, he's got full videos and goes through all the equipment. So if you're a gear nerd, definitely check out Solstice. He's got all the eye candy you can ever need. But we really appreciate you, bro, and we will be checking you out another time. We definitely got to have you back. I mean, you're a fan favorite, obviously.
See, people love controversy.
Man, I appreciate you. I'm going to hit you up in just a little bit, Solstice.
All right.
All right, DJ Solstice, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, man. Oh, what a great show today, and the hits just keep on rolling, man. I've got a special guest next week. I'm hoping. I'm waiting for him to confirm, but I have a special guest for next week. I'm not going to announce it right now because I definitely want confirmation. But another guest next week, so we thank you guys so much for checking us out this evening. I will probably be getting on Twitch tomorrow. I was on Twitch last week, and I'm hoping to get on Twitch this week. So definitely check me out on Twitch, DJ JayBook. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at DJ JayBook for all things related, and I put all announcements. That's my main social media platform. And to hear any of the mixes that I may put out from the Twitch stream, you can check me out on Mixcloud at DJ JayBook. So we thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for showing support. Thank DJ Solstice again. Make sure you go give him a follow. I thank him a lot for being on the show and taking that 1 foot forward. We'll be back again next week, next Thursday, 7 p.m. EST. We may or may not have a guest on that one, but if not, I've got a show prepared for you guys. So we will see you next week. Thank you so much for coming out, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Make sure you're living to strive, not to survive. We'll see you then. Peace.